Arithmetic operators. The name might be a bit of a giveaway, but arithmetic operators perform arithmetic functions on numbers, both literals and variables. Below you can see the addition operator, plus, in action determining the sum of two numbers. var x equals 10 plus 5. Document.write x. You can add as many numbers or variables together as you want or need to. var x equals 10. var y equals x plus 5 plus 22 plus 45 plus 6548. Document.write y. Multiplication. Want to hear a joke? What tool is best suited for math? Multipliers. JavaScript is pretty good at math too, though. We use the operator to multiply one number by the other. Like this. var x equals 10 times 5. Document.write x. Division. What's a swimmer's favorite kind of math? Division. Sorry. Back to business. We use the operator to perform division operations. Like this. var x equals 100, 5. Document.write x. The modulus. Time to talk remainders. You hated them in school, but they're pretty easy here, promise. The modulus, percent, operator returns the division remainder, what's left over. Like this. var my variable equals 26% 6. Increment and decrement. Wait, I've heard of an increment, but what the heck is a decrement? We hear some of you say. Well, throw an increment into reverse and presto, you got yourself a decrement. Let's dig a little deeper. Increment plus plus. The increment operator increases the numeric value of its operand by 1. When placed before the operand, it'll return the incremented value. When placed after it, it'll return the original value and then increments the operand. Decrement dash. The decrement operator decreases the numeric value of its operand by 1. When placed before the operand, it'll return the decremented value. When placed after the operand, it'll return the original value and then decrements the operand. Assignment operators. Next in a series very logically named operators is assignment operators. And you guessed it, we use these guys to assign values to JavaScript variables. Like this. var number equals 20. Number equals 5. Comparison operators. We can use comparison operators in logical statements to find out if variables or values are different. You get either true or false. For example, the equal to, equals operator checks whether the operand's values are equal. var num equals 10. Console.log num equals 8, / outputs false. Look for the table of comparison operators to learn more. Logical operators. Logical operators, also known as Boolean operators, or the Vulkan operators, okay, that one isn't true, evaluate an expression and return true or false. Check out the table below to see more details on the logical operators and, or, not. And returns true if both operands are true. Returns true if one of the operands are true. Exclamation mark returns true if the operand is false, and false if the operand is true. Let's take a look at an example. Here we've connected two Boolean expressions with the AND operator. 4 greater than 2, and 10 less than 15 for this expression to be true, both conditions need to be true. The first condition determines whether 4 is greater than 2, which is true. The second condition determines whether 10 is less than 15, which is also true. Ta-da! The whole expression is true, very logical. Conditional, ternary, operator. Conditional, or ternary, operators assign a value to a variable, based on some condition. This is what the syntax would look like. Variable equals, condition. Value 1, value 2. And here's an example, var isadult equals, age less than 18. Too young, old enough. If the variable age is a value below 18, the value of the variable isadult will be too young. Otherwise the value of isadult will be old enough. String operators. Time to introduce the most useful operator for strings, drum roll please. Concatenation. We can use concatenation, represented by the plus sign, to build strings made up of multiple smaller strings, or by joining strings with other types. Check it out. var mistring1 equals I am learning. var mistring2 equals JavaScript with SoloLearn. Semicolon. Document.write mistring1 plus mistring2. This example declares and initializes two string variables, and then concatenates them. Simple, but super useful.
Conditionals and loops. The if statement. Well done. You're making great progress. On to Module 3. Often when we write code, we want to perform different actions based on different conditions. And this is where conditional statements come in. There are a bunch of different conditionals to cover, but we're starting with one of the most useful. If. We use if to specify a block of code that we want to be executed if a specified condition is true. If, condition. Statements. The statements will only be executed if the specified condition is true. Let's take a look at an example. var my num1 equals 7. var my num2 equals 10. If my num1 alert JavaScript is easy to learn. Here's a little more detail on the if statement. This is an example of a false conditional statement. var my num1 equals 7. var my num2 equals 10. If my num1 my num2 alert JavaScript is easy to learn. The else statement. Right, so we've seen that the action gets skipped when a code block using the if statement evaluates to false, but what if we want something else to happen? Well, we use the else statement, of course. We can use the else statement to specify a block of code that will execute if the condition is false. Like this. If, expression. / executed if condition is true, else. / executed if condition is false. Here's another example of the if and else statements working together. var my num1 equals 7. var my num2 equals 10. If my num1 my num2 alert this is my first condition. Else. Alert this is my first condition. Else if. We've seen else, we've seen if, time to meet else if. The else if statement is useful because it lets us specify a new condition if the first condition is false. Like this. var course equals 1. If course equals 1. Document.write HTML tutorial. Else if course equals 2. Document.write CSS tutorial. Else. Document.write JavaScript tutorial. This is what's happening in the code above. If course is equal to 1, output HTML tutorial. Else, if course is equal to 2, output CSS tutorial. If none of the above condition is true, then output JavaScript tutorial. Course is equal to 1, the final else block will be executed when none of the conditions is true. Let's change the value of the course variable in our previous example. Like this. var course equals 1. If course equals 1. Document.write HTML tutorial. Else if course equals 2. Document.write CSS tutorial. Else document.write JavaScript tutorial. The switch statement. Switch. But what if you need to test for multiple conditions? In those cases, writing if-else statements for each condition might not be the best solution. Instead, we can use the switch statement to perform different actions based on different conditions. Here's what that looks like. Switch expression. Case N1, statement break. Case N2: statements break. Default statements. The switch expression is evaluated once. The value of the expression is compared with the values of each case, and if there's a match, that block of code is executed.